Hi, welcome back to the Swiftfox Build Project channel, and this a long overdue build update video. It's been a while, like a year and a half. The reason for the absence is mostly nothing's been happening with the airplane, unfortunately. The build has been on a bit of a hold. The main reason for that is that I moved hangars. I moved into my hangar. It got completed about a year and a half ago. It was originally meant to be finished before the kit arrived, but with COVID and delays, its completion got pushed back quite significantly. So I had started building in my friend Leon's hangar at a different airport. But about a year and a half ago, it got to a point where I could move in. And so we packed everything up and moved it all over. There was still a bit of work to do to get the hangar to where it is today. And that's pretty much what I've been doing for the past year and a half in amongst everything else that's been going on. But I'm happy to say the hangar is pretty much done now. I'm really happy with it. And I'm back to building the airplane full time. So probably in the latter half of this video, I'll just do a quick walkthrough of the hangar, maybe show some of the stuff I did to finish it off. But there are a couple of airplane updates I can share. So in the last video, I said the next thing I was going to do was work on the end caps of all the tail feathers. The process for that is pretty much putting on some foam and then putting the high sol adhesive over that and then sanding it down to kind of a nice aerofoil shape. So I was doing that. Actually, my mum, my aunt and my uncle were visiting at the time, and so they gave me a hand. And I did start sanding that down. I ran into a couple of issues though, in that I kept kind of hitting foam. I was kind of sanding too far down. And after a couple of goes of that, I kind of lost confidence in where I thought I knew the foam ended and the high sol began. So I decided to do it all over again. So I kind of pulled it all off, including those last ribs, and just redid them all. So what you're looking at here is kind of halfway through attempt number 2. And kind of reflecting on what I'd been doing, I had been trying to get these kind of, bulky, beefy kind of end caps on it. I wanted to kind of achieve this continuous line from, say, the front of the horizontal stabilizer all the way around to the back of the elevator. And I thought by putting on kind of a thick piece of foam and then a thick piece of high sol and kind of sanding that would achieve that. I think what I lost out on was this outside edge of the frame is actually quite a useful reference point. It can kind of tell you give you an indication of where the foam is ending. And I'd kind of lost that. So I was kind of sanding a bit blind, and that's why I started hitting the foam all the time. So this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the outside edge of the frame kind of as much as possible, roughly to about here and here. And then it'll be somewhat of a straight line between those 2 points. And the reason for that is the frame actually does kind of curve back in on itself on each of them. So the high sol is on. I'm going to give it the 3 days to cure properly before I start sanding it. The other thing that I did the first time as well that I thought worked quite well is I used a strip of sandpaper about an inch wide, and I did a kind of diagonal sanding approach to it, and that gave it quite a nice uniform curve top and bottom. So I think I'm gonna try that again. The other update worth mentioning is that I've started dry fitting the floorboards into the pilot and passenger side. Trim them all, they're all dry fit, they're fitting really well. I am gonna try and make them out of carbon fiber though. And I did make a test plate of carbon fiber, the resin infusion method, and came out pretty nice. Now, if you're building a Kitfox, you should probably already be watching Brian Bowen's build videos. And in his, he does make carbon fiber floorboards, and he actually sells them on his website. And I thought, instead of buying them from Brian Bowen, why don't I spend 3 times as much and make them myself? So that's what I'm going to try and do. This piece came out really, really nice. I thought it would turn out terrible, actually. When I was making it, it was a complete disaster. Everything was going wrong. But it ended up coming out pretty good. Learned a lot, of course, of the process. I'm probably going to make a second test piece, maybe a little bigger. This was 5 plies. I'm going to try 4 plies on the next one. And I think probably when I go for it a third time, that'll be the part that I try and actually cut up and use as the floorboards in the airplane. So I'm excited to try that again. This came out way better than I could have imagined. My friend Mark was here. He was kind of here working while I was working away on the airplane stuff, and he was sharing in the catastrophe that was making this. But I shared a video with him then of pulling this off and seeing how it came out. Might put that video at the end. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the airplane right now. A couple of other parts arrived in over the last year and a half as well. So I have my Airmaster prop. That was back ordered and delayed due to COVID as well, but that arrived in November 2022. It looks awesome. And then Kitfox did announce a rudder autopilot kit. I think it kind of debuted on Brandon and Heather's Kitfox. So I've purchased that. I have it here ready to go. It'll probably get installed after the rudder cables get put in, but nonetheless, it's there and ready to go. So that's it for the airplane. In the next video, these should be done, I hope. But let's switch now. I'll do a quick tour of the hangar, maybe talk about some of the work I did here, and then we'll leave it there and I'll catch you on the next video. So I'm going to start the hangar tour first by just giving a general idea of its shape. It's like a T and half of a T stuck together. In general aviation, you'll often find hangars are T-shaped because that's kind of the rough shape of a small airplane. And when you put a T-hanger and a T-hanger back to back and then side by side, kind of stagger them, you get like a really efficient use of space. So my hangar is kind of between, there's T-hangers on this side and there's box hangers on this side. So it's T and half a T kind of acting as an adapter for those two shapes. Now on this side, where it's kind of the large T section, I'm calling it the main bay, I do have some space rented out to folks with another airplane, so their airplane is parked in here. But I do have some stuff stored over on that side, like I've got the wings still there, and along this wall I still have some engine parts, etc. Most of the action happens on the kind of half T side, or the workshop area, I'm calling it. So I've got my benches set up there, I've got the fuselage and the tail feathers here. There's my toolboxes and kind of cabinets and parts here as well. And this space is probably bigger than a 2-car garage, so plenty of space for building the airplane. In the back part of the T, the half T, so there's a full bathroom through that door, so a toilet, shower, sink. And then I have a small kitchenette here. Microwave, fridge, a sink, cutlery, all the jazz. So I can have warm lunches and dinners out here, and cups of tea and whatnot. Super comfortable. Up these stairs and kind of above the kitchenette and the bathroom is a small mezzanine level that I've set up as an office, and it's got a couch up there, so I can be out here working as well pretty comfortably. In terms of the work that had to get done to the hangar to be able to kind of like get to this point here. So when I moved in, the hangar was decently finished. So the walls were painted, ceiling was painted, the bathroom was fully done, but just the mezzanine level was constructed, but it wasn't finished. So the first job I did was I got this floor installed. It's a polyaspartic system. And it's got a bit of texture to it, so it's not too slippy. And then it's white and light gray, so the light kind of bounces off it quite nice, keeps the hangar well lit. After the floor came in, I started insulating the kind of large bifold doors. So because I'm a T and half a T, I do have 2 hangar doors. One is 22 feet, the main bay is 42 feet. And I insulated both the doors with 1-inch thick pieces of insulating board with 2 stacked together, so 2 inches total. There's a board with the foil facing out and then a board with the foil facing in put together. That took probably the longest out of any of the projects in the hangar. If I'm honest, it took months, maybe 5 months to do with all the hours I had to put in, evenings, etc. Each board had to be cut individually, fit, and then kind of glued in. And so it took a long time. I would not recommend doing it. I would just say, if you can, get the insulated door option from Diamond Doors. Don't try to do this yourself. If I could go back in time, I would really push for getting the insulated door. Next up was finishing the mezzanine level. So it was constructed, it just wasn't finished. So I put a floor down and then built these and installed these railings as well to make it safe. So that was a pretty fun project, kind of worked out really, really well. Next up was then working on the kitchenette. So it's an IKEA thing with a countertop that I put in, but it got hooked up to the plumbing as well, which is super useful. There was a few other things, like I put up some flags as well. And a lot of people did help me get the hangar to this point as well. So Pam, Niall and Sophie helped me move everything over from the old hangar to this hangar. Ian came in, there's a water heater up on the mezzanine level. We kind of boxed it in with a closet. Boris and Alex have been out here a few times, particularly helping with the insulating the doors and building the railings. And then, Alex, Boris and Niall helped install the railings, which was awesome. It was a fun day. And then Adam and Ryan and Jill and Katie as well were out for various things. So I really appreciate the folks that came out and gave me a hand. It was, a lot of work to get it to this point. The build of the airplane has suffered a little bit, but I'm really happy where it's gotten to now. It's a really comfortable space. I can be out here for hours and hours and get a lot done and not need for anything. I've got my bathroom, I've got a kitchenette. So it's a really, really productive space, and I'm expecting the airplane build to really ramp up now and gain a lot of momentum. So yeah, we'll leave it there. I'm going to get back to working on the airplane now that the hangar is done. And if you're still watching this video, I appreciate you sticking it out until the end. Yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Bye. All right, here's the big reveal. Let's see how bad this came out. So this is solid, like absolute solid. So I think I'll first maybe just disconnect this side. I hear snapping. It's like butter. Okay. So that's how much like resin I wasted, but like to not run out, I just had to make way more. But it is solid. Doesn't look too bad. Pry it off. Okay, we're both gonna look at this at the same time. 1, 2, 3. It looks sick. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. That looks fucking great. Even the back kind of looks good. It wouldn't have this. It has this kind of nice textured finish on it. Probably could get sanded a little bit, but this looks fucking good. Like, look, you can see yourself. That's how fucking shiny it is. I expected, honestly, a disaster. I expected like bubbles, foreign stuff, debris in it. Like, just, I expected it to be really, really bad. And like, I think that's a good that's a good test effort. That is a good, like, learned a load of stuff. But like, this probably won't be a part for anything, but like, learned a lot of stuff. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm gonna bring this home. This is going on the mantelpiece. Yeah, I'm gonna trim my mustache looking in this.